So as I was saying, that the commandments were not nailed to the cross, because what is sin? Sin is transgression of the law. We've done this before, brothers and sisters, that the sin is a transgression of the law. Which law? God's law. What law? The 10 Commandments, because he wrote that with his own hand on 2 stones of tablet, meaning that they can never be changed. Now, Ellen White writes in The Patriots of Prophets, the law was not spoken at this time exclusively for the benefit of the Hebrews. God honored them by making them the guardians and the keepers of his law. But it was to be held as a sacred trust of the whole world. The precepts of the Decalogue are adapted to all mankind, and they were given for instruction and government of all. 10 precepts, brief, comprehensive, and authoritative, cover the duty of man to God and to his fellow man, and are all based upon the fundamental principle of love, which we just read, and it's repeated in Luke 10:27. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. So you can also look at this understanding in Deuteronomy 6:4-5 and Leviticus 9:18. In the Ten Commandments, these principles are carried out in detail and made applicable to the condition and circumstances of man. So again, very clearly, it is made clear that the law that God had given Moses on the Mount of Sinai, the 10 Commandments, which was part of the Mosaic law, but not the ceremonial law. What was hung on the cross was the ceremonial law. Now, Moses wrote the Mosaic law, most of it, but he did not write the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments came from God himself, written by Jesus' finger on 2 tablets of stone, so that they can never be changed, they can never be altered. Like we saw in our previous study, in our previous series, where God did not change the law when Jesus was upon the cross, when his own son, his only begotten son, was upon the cross, bearing the whole weight of the sin, of the world upon his shoulders, and dying the most humiliating death and most anguishing death. God did not change the law. He did not eradicate the law. He had to allow the law to be fulfilled through Jesus Christ. That blood was required for the atonement of mankind, the ultimate sacrifice. So, brothers and sisters, to set this scene, it's very important to understand that the law was not done away on the cross. By no means it was done away. And we have the 10 Commandments, which gives us and points us to sin. The 10 Commandments doesn't save us, but it points us to sin, and it shows us our sin. And we're going to go through these 10 Commandments now.